Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you, Portia. Okay, so hello and welcome to the EO Civics Network meeting for February 25th, 2026. Uh, okay, so our agenda for today, we have a CDE update, civic participation in IELCE, citizenship preparation, a little bit about awards, and then other information. Okay, so first up is the CDE update. All right, so the latest WIOA State Network meeting was February 3rd, and you can watch the recording here, and don't forget to enter the passcode. And then for a list of statewide scheduled WIOA Network meetings, you can click on that link once I send out the slides with the recording. And then also to register, you can go ahead and click on that bottom link. Their next meeting is March 3rd, 2026. All right. So just a reminder as we get ready to fill out the IELCE report, make sure that you know the difference between what is workforce training and workforce prep. The CDE has put together this IET at a glance guide to help you. So please take a look at that document. It also lists all of the IRTCs, the industry recognized certificates. So please take a look at that. I know there has been some shifting of staff over at CDE. So if you're not sure who your assigned CDE consultant is, you can always reach out to them by email, adulteducation@cde.ca.gov, or they have a telephone number here. Okay. All right, moving on to civic participation in IELCE. All right, so first and foremost, the IELCE report and plan for 243 funded agencies. This electronic report submission system opens March 1st. The programmers tell me that we're on course to open March 1st. It is due March 31st at the end of the month, March 31st, 2026. And I did do a webinar, how to complete the IELCE report and plan. So you can watch the webinar recording along with the slides here. And then I have a visual version of the report as a PDF. So once again, when I send out the slides, you'll be able to click on these links to get those documents. All right, and so talking about remote testing, we are currently updating those documents. So yes, you can do co-op assessments remotely. There are some rules though, and so we're updating it so that they're more current. The original ones were written at the very beginning of the pandemic, and so it's very it explains a lot of details that, most people these days are like, it's on Zoom. So, so that will be updated and put up on the website shortly. All right, and then just a little reminder about co-op assessment security. So whether you're using paper testing materials, technology, or online tools for EL Civics assessments, the agency, you are responsible for ensuring that only proctored students can access and submit the assessments. And Miranda Curie from OTAN has volunteered if you have any questions about the security of storing assessments on Canvas, please reach out to her and she can help you with that. And this is her email address. All right, and so just to remind you that we do have a new COAP for 25-26. It is COAP 77.1. And so this is to demonstrate the language and literacy skills necessary to effectively participate in workforce training in para-education. So we did not have one previous to this, just for para-education. So this is specifically for that group. I know that it looks like a lot of tasks, but task 1 is the only one that's for everyone from beginning high to advanced. Task 2 is specifically only for beginning high. Task 3 is only for intermediate low, and then task 4 is only for intermediate high to advanced. So no matter what the level, the students, each level will do 2 tasks, right? And we had a lengthy list of sample responses for 77.1 Content B. So there is a list. It was too long to put into the details, so we have a separate document that's on the ELCivics website. Okay. And it's on the page, but it's at the very bottom. So you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to get to that document. All right, and also to remind you about the ELCivics Exchange, we do have 22 sets of materials, and the newest ones we have are 19.7, Immigrants' Rights, and 72.2, which is Safety in Building and Construction Trades. So if you're looking around for something that might help you and your agency with your co-ops, please take a look at the ELCivics Exchange. And their website is here on the screen, the elcivics.otan.us. All right, and just a reminder about the ELCivics rubrics. So this is an example. It says, given an oral presentation about community needs or issues, and the content is the presentation will be based on the answers of up to 4 questions, such as, and so it has examples. But so this is the rubric right here at the bottom. So the rubric describes the minimum a student should accomplish. So the one that says here, report is appropriate, clear, and has correct content. At least 3 questions are discussed, right? So if you are testing an intermediate low student, at the top it says after up to 4 questions, intermediate low would answer the 3 questions. So a perfect score for an intermediate low student would be 16, not 18. So 18 would be for intermediate high to advanced, who would be doing all 4 questions. So in the rubric, it says all 4 questions are discussed, right? So please remember to make that differentiation between the levels. Okay, and now we're on to citizenship preparation. Portia?
Thank you, Stephanie. Whoop. There we go. Okay, the next slide. Just again, a reminder that we have 2 tests that you can use for payment points for citizenship. One is a citizenship interview test that simulates the USCIS interview with a citizenship applicant. It's based on the N400 application for naturalization, and it's a predictor of success. If you test the student the first time and they don't pass, you can give them additional instruction and test them with the alternate form. And it's just a pass-fail test. If they hit 206 or above, they receive a passing score and they're finished, not a pre-post test. Next one, Stephanie. In order to offer the SIT, you must have a SIT certified examiner at your school. And there is training for that. It's online. You go to this link here at the product overview, and you can register for that training. It can be a little bit glitchy. So there is also a video on the YouTube, the Citizenship YouTube channel for CASAS, and there's a link to that there as well. And it walks you through the steps in about 2 or 3 minutes on how to register. If you register for the training and you think you've been charged, we always check to make sure that you are a WIOA 2 agency, so you won't be charged, but you can always send us an email and we can confirm that for you, but you will not be charged for this training. And the next one. Your certification expires on June 30th. So if you are a certified trainer or examiner, we send you an email and tell you it's time to recertify, and you have until April 30th to complete that training. If you don't recertify, remember, after June 30th, you can no longer test. So that leaves a gap between the end of June or July 1st and the following January when the training opens again. So you don't want to let that lapse. Both trainings expire or the courses close on April 30th of each year. And so there's the question here. We only need to do 974 or 973. That is correct. If they pass one of those, you have finished. You don't have to test them with the alternate form, but they do have to have a pre-post test pair. So generally a pre-post with steps, listening, or reading in order to get that payment point. And the next one. The government history is a listening test, the government history test, and it's based on the old 100 questions for the USCIS. And it can be tested remotely through a flash drive option, or you can use e-tests. You pass this one also with a score of 206 or above. It is not a pre-post test. If they don't pass, give them more instruction and then give them the alternate form. And the next one. We've had a lot of questions about this because currently there are 128 questions, and that test, the government history test, is being updated by CASAS, and I think they've completed developing the questions. So now we're going to go into a field testing phase, and you may be contacted to ask if your students are willing to participate in the field testing. If they do, I think they can take up to 4 tests, and they'll get a gift card for each test that they take. The sooner we get field testing finished, the sooner we can release the new test. So if you are approached and you can help out with that, it would be really good so that we can get it done faster. The SIT is not being updated because, again, we can never test everything that's on the N400. It's up to the citizenship teacher to make sure students are prepared for the entire application, but it's still a valid predictor of success with the USCIS. And then there's a third test, reading for citizenship, and I don't think very many people are using that. It used to be okay for pre-post testing, but since STEPS was released, that is no longer true. So it's been refreshed, it looks more modern, and you might want to use it in a citizenship program because the content is citizenship based, but it cannot be used for pre-post testing. I think that's it, Stephanie. Any questions about citizenship? You can always email sit@casas.org. If you're having any problems with your training, sometimes the modules get stuck, we can help you with that. Just email sit@casas.org, and that's the fastest way to get help with anything you need. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Portia. All right, so moving on to awards. All right, so what are they? So we have 2 awards, the Promising Practices Award and the Making a Difference Award. So the Promising Practice Award recognizes California adult education providers that have implemented a practice that helps students and or improves their program in some way. So through collaboration, effective tech use, improved transitions, etc. And the nomination form is in this link here. It says nomination form for promising practices. The Making a Difference Award is a little bit different. It identifies programs that document the effectiveness of their project and shows that the project goes beyond the classroom. So that's the key difference here. The Making a Difference Award is making a difference in the community. All right, so it has to go beyond the classroom to affect the community in a positive manner. And so we have the Making a Difference Award application form down at the bottom here is a clickable link. And so what can award winners expect? You'll be presented with the award by the CDE at the 2026 CASA Summer Institute California Consortium meeting. And you're invited to participate in a poster session at the CASA Summer Institute. You're invited to talk about your promising practice and or your making a difference project at various network meetings. And pretty much your role would be to serve as a model for other programs seeking to implement similar practices or projects. And so how to apply, you fill out the application or nomination form and send it to me, sfitzpatrick@casas.org. And the due date for that is by April 15th, tax day. Of course, agencies are subject to final approval by the CDE. And to learn more about either award, the Promising Practice or the Making a Difference Award, and to view previous award recipients. So to see examples of what kinds of practices or projects get awarded these two, you can visit the CASAS website. So please consider nominating your agency for these awards, and I will help you through the process. If you're not sure in any part of the application or the nomination form, just please send me an email and I can help you through that process. Okay, so we are on to other information. All right, so first of all, just upcoming EL Civics meetings. So we have April 1st is our next one because there's no meeting in March, but due to the TESOL conference in Salt Lake City. Okay, so the next one after today is April 1st. And then because April is such a long month, we have one at the very beginning and then we have one at the very end. So after April 1st, the next one is April 29th and then May 27th will be the last one before the Summer Institute. So please let me know if you have something to share or present. And if you haven't done so already, please type your name and agency into the chat box. And also, if you haven't registered, please go to the California Adult Ed Training website to register for this meeting. And speaking of Summer Institute, we have our 2026 CASA Summer Institute. It is going to be from June 15th to June 18th. And so this is our logo for this year's Summer Institute. The registration fee is $6.95, and then there's also an optional add-on lab pass. It's $180 for the lab pass that allows you to go to as many labs as you would like. So instead of registering for individual ones, it's just one pass that allows you to go to any of them. Right? And you can register now. Registration is open. So when you get the slides, this is a clickable link and you can register for the Summer Institute here. All right, so something new on our EL Civics webpage is the digital learning guidance. So there's a new link under a section called the digital resources. So this is the OTAN Digital Learning Guidance, the DLG. And what it is, it's an up-to-date guide to digital literacy, including a comprehensive literature review of research resources. Okay. And OTAN is going to be putting on a free professional learning seminar to teach people how to use that DLG, the digital learning guidance. Okay. And so it's a free 10-week professional learning cohort in March to May 2026 for adult education instructors and staff this spring, offered by OTAN and community learning partners. So how to apply is you complete the application form by March 6th, so quickly coming up. And the course registration is here. And to see more information, you can also click the course registration. It'll give you a little more information about the format and time, dates, things like that. If you have any questions about this webinar, please contact Joey Lehrman at his email address here for Community Learning Partners. Okay. And Anthony Burek from OTAN was going to say a few words, but I'm not sure if he's made it yet. Anthony, are you here?
Stephanie, yeah, actually, I just
Yes.
jumped into the meeting.
Oh, great, great. Okay,
And
so
you did all the hard work, so thank you. Yeah, no,
so
I mean,
I do have your slides, so if you
okay.
want to go through a little bit of this.
Oh, super. Okay, yeah, I'll just take a minute because I'm sure Stephanie just covered this. So hi everyone, Anthony Beard from OTAN. Thanks for having me here for a couple minutes. Stephanie might have mentioned that the California Adult Education Digital Learning Guidance, which originally came out in the fall of 2022, we just have revised it and now have it published on the OTAN website. So if you're already familiar with the guidance, please take a look in because we have this brand new kind of updated version of the guidance. If you've never seen the guidance before, it's really meant to be a landscape overview of all the things that we do in adult education, but thinking about those things and how they intersect with the use of technology. And we use technology for all different in all different ways in adult education, in the classroom, in the office, in our communities, things like that. So it's really meant to be a very comprehensive guide to adult ed and how we use technology in a variety of ways. So if nothing else, please make sure that you take a look at the guidance, share it with your colleagues. Yes, Ryan, thank you so much. Yeah, we literally in the fall of 2022 sent out the first version of the guidance, and there wasn't one single mention of AI. And then we all know what happened 2 months later, right, in November with ChatGPT. So now we have an entire chapter, the last chapter 8, which is the newest chapter of the guidance, that is all about AI. So take a look at it. We also think about how to use AI in a variety of ways as well, right, in the classroom, in the office, with community partners, things like that. So yes, please take a look at the guidance. And then Stephanie, if you want to go to the next slide. I came in when you were talking about the cohort that we are organizing for the issuance of this new edition of the guidance. It's going to be about 10 weeks or so, but we really try to keep the weekly participation to a minimum in terms of an hour or two of your time. We're basically going to go through each of the chapters of the guidance, and it's really meant to think about how to implement what we talk about the guidance in your particular situation, right? So maybe you're having issues with students who lack their digital literacy skills, right? So what are some of the things that you can do to address that? What about more technology when it comes to assessment? So in EL Civics, right? So, this is one of the primary assessments that we talk about in adult ed. How might we bring more technology into this process? So in terms of the classroom instruction, ways that we assess students, things like that. So all different kinds of topics we'll cover in this cohort. Please feel free to sign up, bring a colleague or two with you. I think it also will have an impact if you have kind of a small group of people, maybe something like a community of practice or a PLC, kind of that model. But the goal really is to really think about how to bring more technology into our work back at the adult school, really for the benefit of our students, right? I mean, we all are sort of the middle people in that regard, the facilitators. How do we bring these skills to our student population to help them in their work lives, family lives, community lives, so on, so on, so on. So if you do have questions, as Stephanie said, you can reach out directly to Joey Lehrman. By the way, Joey's a great facilitator, so if you come into the cohort, you really will have a top-notch experience with Joey. If you want to reach out to me as well, I'll put my email in the chat if you have any questions about the guidance or the cohort. But we would love to see folks from adult schools around the state join the cohort this spring and help us kind of launch the brand new edition of the guidance. So I'll leave it at that. Stephanie, thanks so much for letting me talk for a couple minutes.
Of course. All right. So, any questions? Let me look back at the chat. I haven't been keeping track. Portia, did you see any questions in there? Or if you have
There were
a
a couple
question,
that I responded to just regarding documents
okay.
that I did send, and they're waiting for
Anyone
your
else want to
slides
unmute
after your
and
meeting.
anyone want to unmute and ask their question? Okay, so I have a message from Judy. I will, if you email me your address, I think you're on the list, but let's see. So Judy, if you can send me an email to add your email address, I'll put my email address in the chat. All right, and I also noticed that Anthony put his email in the chat also. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so like I said, if you haven't done so already, please put your name and agency in the chat so we can take attendance. Let's see. Okay, Looks like there's no questions, so we can go ahead and finish up for today. Very short meeting today.
Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were asking about questions about the digital. Sorry. I do have a quick question, actually.
Sure.
Sorry to be that person, but
No problem.
I think at the last meeting, Lori had made it was like a comment in passing about if ESL, or I should say, this is how I understood it, and this is what I need clarification on that if ESL students are using the ABE test, that they should be enrolled in an ABE class. And I just
So,
needed to get clarification on that.
so they would be need to be enrolled in both an ESL class and an ABE if they're using the ABE test. Portia, do you have anything to add?
Well, they can
Okay.
only get, yes, they can only get a payment point for EL Civics by being enrolled in an in ESL class. And then for if you're using an ABE test, then the student needs an enrollment in an ABE class for that. So let's say that you've got a student who's an ABE student taking goals tests, but you also want them to take co-op assessments because of their enrollment in IET program, for example. They need both enrollments.
Okay, but so just to make sure I am understanding correctly, they're not attending a second class. They just need to be enrolled though, because we have ESL students who are coming into our program at, testing at like a 237, and they're not interested in moving on to like community college, for instance. So they're okay with being in ESL, but we were interested in having them taking the ABE just to continue earning payment points. But I mean, I'm assuming if they're enrolled in both classes, they would have to attend both classes.
I think that's true. I think they need attendance in the class, not just enrollment.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they don't have attendance, you're going to have, and you enroll them in an ABE class with no attendance hours, you're going to have to do an employment and earnings survey follow-up on them. For one thing is that I see as a problem with that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that I understand. Okay, cool. So you've answered my questions.
And you
Thank
you need
you.
to make sure you have the pre-post and the steps on the steps test, not the goals test.
Well, no, they could have the pre-post and the goals test if the student has dual enrollment in ESL and ABE.
That's
They don't
true, but
have
I
to do
thought
steps
I
and
yeah, yeah, you'd have to make them take both tests.
Okay. Okay, so just is if I have any follow-up questions, is there someone specific I should reach out to?
you should reach out to your program specialist.
Paul, aren't
Okay.
you?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else with a question? Okay. Paul, I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
Hi, Stephanie. Last year with the IELCE report, we were asked for the first time to submit the single uh, learning objectives for each course along with the long-range lesson plan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same this year?
No. So what CDE wants the chunk of it is those the single set of learning objectives. So those are still there, and if you have a syllabus for your class, you should have those anyway. But the other things like the teachers' names, their roles, and when did the classes meet, and blah blah blah, all of those details, yes, they're still required. But the integrated syllabus part of it is not required. So if you have those single set of learning objectives embedded in your syllabus, then you can just copy paste them and then they're already there. So that's easy peasy. You can copy paste them from your syllabus. You don't have to throw it out just because we're saying that we don't need it for the report. There are parts of that syllabus that we're asking to put information into this report. So, but not the entire integrated syllabus.
Okay,
Does that
thank
answer
you
your
very
question?
much. Yes.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Anyone else? All right.
Stephanie, is the report scheduled to open on March 1st?
Yes. So right now the programmers are telling me that it is. We've been testing it number of times, and there's still a few glitches that I don't know why. I'm not a programmer, but I just keep telling them, oh, this part, fix this part. So
And there's also another question. If you only need one, the 974 or the 973 interview test, no need to pre-post, right?
Oh, I responded to that one. You only need to give them 973 or 974, but they still have to have a pre-post test. But
Thank you.
973, 974 are not pre-post.
Okay.
all right. Any other questions?
And they need a pre-post, but they don't need to show growth, unlike you do in order to get, they can still get a co-op without an EFL.
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and stop the recording. Where's the... Okay. So if you have any questions, please email us. All our email addresses are there. Also for general inquiries, we have the elcivics@casas.org email address that gets sent to all the program specialists, so we can respond in a timely manner. So.